Alrighty, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. I hope everybody's having a great trading session. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be perfectly frank with you right now. This is a very slow trading session, and I'm not having a whole lot of fun. Predominantly because the market's just not moving. And as you guys know, I mean, we need some action, and I'm hoping for some. But I think what we're looking for today is maybe going to be setting up for what might come for the next couple of days, because the Powell Mnuchin webcast didn't produce the type of volatility that I was hoping, but that's all right. That, like I said, this is what I'm going to be showing you is probably setting us up for the next couple of days realistically. Now, obviously, if you're tuning in and watching this 20 hours from now on YouTube, we might already be in process of this happening. So that's something to think about. Now, let me backtrack and after seeing this move here yesterday, I was thinking, okay, here we go. The S&P is going to make it to the 200-day moving average, maybe even overshoot it. And I was prepared for it. I'm like, okay, well, closed out my small S&P short. Wanted to make sure that I didn't have any, my position size was manageable on Euro Aussies, Euro New Zealand longs, Euro Sterling longs, and all that was fine. And as we started to rally, what we did overnight is we might have put in a false breakout, but I don't want to turn bearish necessarily, equities yet, but what I'm going to be looking for by the end of the day is to see where we close here. If the S&P closes like at lows, let's just say below 2930 roughly, somewhere in that neighborhood, then I'm going to look for some confirmation currency wise to let me know that we are indeed reversing. And if we are, that's going to be the setup for tomorrow and the next day, in my opinion. So what are those setups going to be? Well, I'm looking at 3 or 4. First and foremost, the Canadian. The dollar Canadian, let me remove this really quick. I was just kind of drawing this all in my head. So you can see we're outside of the triangle, testing, 38, you can call this like 38.50 support, right? We're near that support. What I would feel comfortable with is if the dollar Canadian rallied back above 139 by the end of the day. So by the end of the session, if stocks start to look a little weaker, dollar Canadian's back above 139, I think that sets us up for a reversal from 139 to maybe 140, maybe even a little higher than that, right? So then we can kind of dismiss this as being a triangle and say it's more of a wedge, okay? So that's one. That's one that I'm thinking of now. The next one would be the dollar Mexican peso. So the dollar Mexican peso, very similar situation. We had broken down out of the triangle, and I've redrawn this triangle a couple times. First I had it drawn like that, then now I'm like, okay, maybe it's like that. And I was thinking, okay, well, we're below triangle support at 23.70. This should take us back down towards 23, 22 and a half. Downside follow through has been very limited. So now I think if equities actually start to show some weakness, the setup here would be, move back up to 24 and maybe even 24 and a half, maybe even up to the previous triangle resistance. And then obviously if it broke out, then we're talking a lot higher. But, I'm just thinking into tomorrow, we might get a nice little reversal back, above 24. All right. And that could set us up for a nice, reversal in the coming days. Again, this is more predicated on equities than anything. I'm more carefully watching equities right now than I am currencies, because I think currencies will fall in the line depending on what equities do. So that's another one of them. Now, if you are a ForexAnalytix subscriber, you probably saw that I had a US dollar Norwegian krona short pattern in play because we broke through all the support, but I closed it. And why did I close it? I closed it for the same reasons, same things that I'm talking to you about right now. We hit 127% extension, and if equities don't follow through to the upside, then the US dollar Norwegian krona might actually reverse here. So that I just actually wanted to point that out more so than trade it. I'm actually not interested in trading it at the moment. But I want to take you over to the Aussie. So the Aussie, so strong, so stout. I mean, the stupid thing does not go down. If equities maintain their their poise and they can continue to rally, then I think the Aussie can test 67 cents or 66, 60, 66, 80. Remember, this is all previous support from last year. Previous support from earlier this year acted as resistance. That's a magnet, right? So if stocks continue to stay strong, I was talking to the guys in my office and we were talking about the Aussie. I'm like, I'm just itching to short the Aussie at 67 cents. I'm kind of hoping we get up there, but when I hope that something gets up somewhere or goes somewhere, then chances of it getting there is probably slim, because I think everybody else is probably looking at the same thing. But we can't ignore the fact that it has been resilient. So if it pops and makes a move to 66, 60, 67 cents, I am a seller up there. Now, the flip side, going back to our conversation about equities, if equities roll over, that means we're probably going to fail up here. So if the dollar yen makes it back below, let me draw this differently, makes it back below like right through here, like 65 and a quarter roughly, then that means we probably have a shot from 65 and a quarter back down towards 64 and a half. All right. I'm actually I'd be more excited about playing the dollar Canadian and dollar Mexican peso to the upside. But, if Aussie's your flavor, maybe that's the trade, right? That might be the one. So that brings us to the S&P. Again, the S&P failed breakout here. I want to see us like close the day lower. If we close the day lower, that is going to be, the catalyst for me to start looking to play the dollar Canadian long, dollar Mexican peso long, possibly the Aussie US dollar short side on the short side. And then also I have to mention the dollar yen, because the dollar yen is stalling at this 38% retracement. You see that? And this is another kind of a key chart. We went higher in price, lower in relative strength. You see that? So that means the rally was divergent, stalling ahead of the 38% retracement. If the dollar yen rolls over, you might not even trade the Aussie US dollar, on the short side, or maybe the dollar Canadian on the long side. Maybe you trade the Canadian yen short, Aussie yen short. That's another option, especially after the squeeze that the Aussie yen has pulled on everybody. I mean, think about all the shorts that are getting creamed right here. If we do a break higher, stall at the 127% extension that we're at, and then we reverse, this would be just a big screw you party, right? Screwed all the shorts and then big reversal. Think about positioning, getting positioning, people position the wrong way. That would be a true catching everybody the wrong way, because then you squeeze every short, you get a lot of people long. I was actually looking at that last night, even though I didn't do anything about it. I was thinking, if this Aussie yen breaks 70-20, I want to be long. I was thinking that last night. I didn't do anything about it. And then here we are this morning, and I'm thinking, man, if this thing gets back below 70-20, yeah, it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. So again, these are the types of things that I'm looking at should equities close lower. So I'm not so interested in what currencies are doing right now. I'm more interested in the way equities are trading right now and how they trade by the end of the session, because by the end of the session, going into tomorrow might set the pace for the remainder of the week for me. Okay. So I hope that helps. And guys, if you are listening to this after the fact, that means you're not a ForexAnalytix subscriber. So make sure you do so. It's $1 for 10 days. Try it out. But the cool thing is then you can be in the chat rooms, and even though I haven't been in the chat rooms a lot today because I've been on a couple different calls and it's my son's birthday, so I haven't been as active as I normally am. We've still got the whole entire the rest of the staff has been in there. Steve's been in there. Amanda's in there. Paulie's in there. Everybody's chatting up a storm. Stelios is in there. Plus on top of 100 other traders that we've known each other for in some cases longer than a decade. So be part of our community. All right, guys and gals, thanks for tuning in. If I don't see you or I don't talk to you, I will see you tomorrow morning on the Face webinar. Have a great one, and see you, Raj. And Raj, nice to have you in our chat, by the way. And you guys all have a good one. Talk to you soon. Thanks.